So guys, the backpack that I use on my day hikes is the Gregory Citro 30-liter backpack. It's a pretty decent backpack. Quality's pretty good. It's got lots of storing space. Most importantly, it's affordable. So just to kind of go over it, give it a little bit of a review here. It's got the nice kind of spandex pouch in the front where you can carry stuff, and then it has these little pouches in the front as well where you can carry whatever it is you need. And then it has the main pouch, which has a lot of space, and you can get quite a bit of stuff in there, like rain gear, tarp, whatever. And then it also has this little pouch inside the main pouch, which you can carry your car keys or anything that you want to keep dry. And this backpack does come with a bladder pack pouch. However, I have not had good experiences with bladder packs, and I find that they always are either defective or they don't last very long. So my preference is to carry water bottles. That way I know I have a reliable source of water that's not going to be leaking or drain out when I'm on the trail or just something. So for me, my personal preference is water bottles, and we'll get into why in a little bit. But otherwise, decent pack and very affordable. Hey guys, my next item on the list by far is one of my most essential items that I will take with me no matter what, and that is a good quality knife. A knife just is so practical for so many things, whether it's cutting rope, cutting yourself out of something if you get stuck or pinched or whatever. It's good for cutting up food, shaving wood, making a fire. There's so many things a knife is good for, and that's why I always carry one. And mine is a Winchester knife. I got it for being a best man at a wedding, but it's a good quality knife. I've sharpened it over and over again, never had any problems. It's held up, it's gone through a lot, and it comes in a nice, beautiful, durable case. So most importantly, I always carry a knife. So next on the list is bear mace. Another must-have item when you're day hiking, and it hooks right onto your belt loop. You can carry it, make sure it is accessible, because you never know when you'll come across a bear and you don't want to be fumbling through your backpack looking for bear mace or a safety item. So my recommendation is always have bear mace. It's a decent deterrent, and it may just save your life. Now we have another item which is directly related to bear mace and bears and wildlife. This item is the pin launcher bear banger. You get a little cartridge like this, you get the pin launcher, you screw them together, and then you just pull back on this thing, boom, and it fires a loud bang. Also another good deterrent, and it's always good to have more than one. I always have probably at least 2 cartridges in my backpack with me at all times. So guys, my next item that I always carry with me every single day hike that I do is rain gear. Rain gear is super important because you never know when the weather's going to change on you, and if you're doing, whether it's a 4-hour or 9-hour hike, it's important that you're going to want to be prepared for the weather to change. And I know that one of the leading causes really getting in a bad spot when you're out in the bush is getting wet and getting hypothermia, and that's why I always carry rain gear. So for me, I have a pair of rain gear pants, nothing special, nothing fancy, but they do the trick. And they have the zip up ends here where you can easily slip them on over top of your clothes and over top of your hiking boots, so that you don't need to take your boots off when it's raining or starting to rain. And I just have a jacket to match. and so far that just does the trick for me. It's definitely not the best gear. I mean, it's black too, but it's all I can afford, so that's what I got, and it still works and does the trick for me. And I've only ever had to use it once, so I would say that it serves its purpose. The next item on my list that I always carry with me, where it just sits in my backpack, I've never actually had to use it, but it's a scout tarp. And a scout tarp is basically just a really thin tarp, and it's 2 meters wide by 3 meters long. It's the perfect item in case you get stuck out in the bush for the night, or you get injured and you can't get back to your vehicle, or you can't reach for help. At least you can shelter yourself from the elements and protect yourself, which is extremely important, because being able to survive a day or two or even 3 will greatly increase your chances of help coming to look for you and being found, and you still being alive to receive that help. So for me, I always pack the scout tarp, and you know, it's so light and weighs next to nothing, so it is not hurting me by carrying it around. Since we've been on the subject of keeping ourselves dry while we're out in the bush and hiking, the next item that I always carry is the backpack cover, because it is very important if it starts raining to keep everything in your backpack dry. Things like you're going to want to have your cell phone or your GPS or your satellite phone dry. You're going to want extra layers that you bring with you to remain dry. You want to keep your food dry so it doesn't become soggy. Maybe you have fire starter or something like that in your backpack that you want to keep dry. Therefore, the backpack tarp is extremely important. And again, it's not something that I use very often on my day hikes, because I usually plan for the weather and the days usually remain nice. However, you just never know. So it's always good to pack one, and like, look how small it is. Weighs next to nothing. So I would have one of these handy. The next item that I carry with me at all times, which never leaves my backpack, is my first aid kit. It is just one of those things where you could scrape yourself, get blisters, maybe somebody you're hiking with gets hurt, and you can patch them up or patch yourself up. So it's really important to have a first aid kit. And again, it's just one of those items that you probably will rarely ever use, but when you need it, it'll be urgent, and that's what's really important when it comes to safety. So I'll always carry one of these, and again, it's watertight and ultralight. Very, very easy to carry around, not weighing you down whatsoever. Alright, so my next item that I always carry with me when I'm day hiking is water. You would think that would be a no-brainer, but I'm gonna throw it in here because it's really important, and there's a lot more that I can add to it other than just carrying a water bottle that's already pre-filled. So I carry this one, holds about 1.5 liters of water, and it is very durable. It's not gonna get punctured easy, and that's why I keep it. I also will bring with me a water pump, just in case I run out of water or I get stuck in the bush. It will be very, very important to access water again. So for me, I have the handheld pump. You just stick this end into the creek, river, whatever, and then you hold it like this and you squeeze, and the water will come out this end here, and that's where you fill up your water bottle. However, water pumps may not always be a reliable source of water or getting clean water, so I always bring these aqua tabs, where it's just one pill per 1 liter of water, takes about 20 minutes, and you can drink water right out of the river or a creek, and they're just very small, lightweight, and probably life-saving too if you're in that position. Alright, the next item that I always carry with me is a neck gaiter. There are so many practical applications for a neck gaiter, and they are very light and can obviously compact very tightly, so you can put it wherever and you won't even know it's there. For me, a neck gaiter can be used to keep the sun off my head. It can be used to protect my neck, or to protect my face from the wind, or you can use it to, dab the sweat off your head when you're hiking. And another thing that I've used it for actually is when I am filling up my water bottle on a longer hike out of the river, I will take my water bottle like this, I will throw the thing over it, almost like a little mini filter, and then I just stick it into the river, and that way it keeps little twigs out or whatever. Just another little mini filter, I suppose. Not to mention you can just dab it in the river after and cool yourself down. Very useful item. I recommend, if you're going day hiking, to get yourself a neck gaiter. Another item that I take with me in the bush is a lighter in a plastic bag with some dryer lint, just in case I need to start a fire. Again, just in case I find myself in a position where I'm not going home and I need to spend the night out in the bush. I want to be able to start a fire, and again, that's where that knife comes in handy, because with some dryer lint, and if you shave some wood, it's not going to be that hard to start a fire. So for me, a lighter in a plastic bag with some dryer lint or something else that will easily burn. Another item that I like to take with me always is toilet paper. You never know when you're going to need to use the bathroom out in the bush, and you want to be comfortable, so you're going to want to clean yourself afterwards. And it just may come in use in other ways too. Perhaps you need to start a fire, but for me, it is always one of those things that if I need to use the bathroom, I just want to be comfortable after, and not a bad item to have. So, carry toilet paper. Alright guys, we're getting down to the final few items here that I carry with me when I'm day hiking, and one of those last items on the list is a headlamp. Super important to have a headlamp, just because, again, you never know if your day hike is going to go longer than you think it is, and you're going to end up walking back to the vehicle and you're losing daylight, so you're going to want to see where you're going so you don't trip, fall, injure yourself, or just make it a miserable time. Or maybe you plan to do a sunrise hike, therefore you're also going to need one of these, just because it's going to be dark going up and you're going to want to see where you're going. So mine has a nice bright light, shines very well, and it also has the nighttime light. So it's good for nighttime photography or taking pictures in the dark, and you can stick this on your head and still see what you're doing. I definitely recommend having a headlamp and making sure that it works properly and the batteries are replaced, especially if you're like me and you're a seasonal hiker. Getting to the last couple items that I carry with me when I'm out day hiking is you're going to want to have some form of snack, like a Cliff Bar, something that's high energy, high in protein. Maybe carry a couple of these. I usually carry about 2 of these Cliff Bars and a piece of fruit, like an orange, when I'm on a day hike, and that usually does it for me. So, important. And you never know, if you get stuck again, it's going to be nice to have at least something to sustain you for a day or two, even if it's very minimal, just to carry through until help can arrive. Alright guys, the last item on my list is a good pair of gloves. And for me, you've probably seen them on your Facebook feed, is these military style tactical gloves. I actually swear by them. They are amazing. They are super comfortable. They fit very snug. They have the knuckle buster kind of protectors here, so if you're scrambling or doing more advanced hiking, you can protect your hands, your knuckles, that kind of stuff. You can also use technology with the glove on. They have these little leather pads on the fingertips. And another thing that's really cool about them is, for me, I like my firearms, I like shooting, and you can handle really small items like ammunition or whatever it is, and these gloves are just amazing. I will probably never wear another glove in the spring, summertime other than these ones. So get a good pair of gloves. Oh my god, I can't believe that I forgot. So before I let you guys go, the last thing that I carry with me when I'm day hiking is a good luck charm. I believe I got this good luck charm from a German girl that I was extremely infatuated with when I met her in India years ago, and she gave it to me when I went and visited her at her home in Germany, and I've just kept it ever since, and I carry it with me when I'm hiking, and I consider it my good luck charm, and so far it's kept me out of trouble. So maybe get one of these too. Alright, thanks for joining. I will see you later.